Hey y'all, how y'all doing? So I hate AI with a passion. I want to clarify because AI is the villain, or the Doofenshmirtz evil incorporated of all problems. It causes climate change because the amount of energy it uses is causing people to lose media literacy and literal creativity. And I could go on, but I'm not gonna talk about how much I hate AI and all that bullshit. Instead, I want to talk about a video that pissed me off. Like, how are you gonna accuse someone of AI and then provide no sources? Like, please, give me them sources. Now, I get if you're trying to call out someone who is using AI for their video, because it is pretty much stealing from other content creators. However, there are problems with this video. To also explain, they don't give good examples of what could be AI written, so it leaves you empty-handed, I guess. So let's begin. That was so awkward. Oh my god. Let's begin, y'all. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Is Jay's reviews written by AI? A definitive conclusion won't be possible right here today, but we are going to examine the evidence, which is less about the specific case study of Jay's reviews and more about general criteria to look out for as you navigate the sonic content space on YouTube with ChatGPT AI-generated video channels like Mr. Fascinating, it is suspected, which are making the rounds to roving success, impressive engagement numbers, but some or all of the video itself is created by AI. So in part one of this video, we're going to look at a case study example of the recent Jay's Reviews video about enjoying bad games. And we're going to examine the writing contained therein to evaluate could this possibly have been written in part by artificial intelligence. In part two of this video, after sifting through the potential AI contributions, we're going to arrive at Jay's fundamental cop-out in the way that he attempts to contextualize gaming criticism and gaming opinions. Is it the sort of cop-out that an AI could come up with? We're going to let you decide today. And finally, in part 3 of this video, I will be delivering Jay his sentencing, which will specify what Jay needs to do in order to atone for his choice to appropriate design choices from me on 2 occasions, possibly 3, but certainly 2. So let's dive right into things, guys. We're going to start with the evidence of AI writing in the recently released Jay's Reviews video. Enjoy.
Okay, let's talk about this, how I have issues at this point. The things that this man says or points out don't even sound or write like an AI. And it's obvious that no, this is not AI. And it does shoot him in the foot later, but we're not going to talk about that yet.
Bad games. Take it away, Jay.
I realize it's been a while since my last soapbox video, so there's no better time to bring it back in the present moment.
Now, opening a video like this is pretty common on YouTube. It totally loses sight of the evergreen nature of YouTube videos. Like, this is a permanent piece of content that can be discovered by people moving forward, but it's opening, right? Drawing people in by saying, oh, the video that you're seeing today is different than a lot of the videos I've been doing lately, and I haven't returned to this format in a while. What we call this is E/N, everything/nothing. These behind-the-scenes details mean everything to Jay, but nothing to the viewing audience. But here they are at the opening of the video itself. So what he's going to do now is he's going to explain the premise of this video you're about to watch, but there's going to be so many different words here, but trying to tease out the meaning is difficult.
This is where I take something I see in pop culture discourse and discuss it with whatever relevant examples I have.
Okay, so that just sounds like the most broad, generic, anything and everything premise that could possibly exist. The premise of this category of video is, I'm going to take something said in pop culture and discuss it using examples. It seems like this video could be about any and everything, just discussed out in the public about video games. And so this could read as an early attempt ChatGPT video intro.
So it's just awkward writing? Is that what we're going with? So awkward writing equals AI written. Good to know. I have a problem with this because what if it's how Jay's Reviews scripts his video and that's why it feels a little bit awkward? Also, there are many ways to identify artificial intelligence in scripts, not just if it has awkward writing. Example I could give off if it has repetitive phrases, vocabulary that is above an unexpected level of intelligence, or if the style is inconsistent. Do you see any of the following? Sorry, I didn't know where to stop, but let's continue. I'll let you continue.
Mommy. I can't be your mother.
that written by AI or not, Jay is going to list off all these rapid-fire scenarios that I'm sure make perfect sense in his head, but because he's just rattling through them all without giving any examples, it all just kind of washes over you, which is especially disorienting after the vague sauce wording of semi-normal people and correct
I'm gonna stop you there. Now, there is a huge problem with this video that I have, and it is the fact that it feels a lot more spiteful than, you know, like genuine criticism. Now, I get if you're had bad blood or if you were in a Katy Perry v Lady Gaga type beef, but you should lay it off. You should not fight each other like it's 2016. Sorry, I hate people fighting, even though I do commentate on people, even though I don't like their videos and the discussions, so... Is that the same thing?
opinions.
I obviously think many games suck and have said as much in past videos, but I'd...
Pause. Where did the captions go? Were you lazy? Were you that lazy you didn't want because you wouldn't want to? Like, people need to know what you're talking about. Because putting no captions for the rest of the video makes it really hard for deaf people to understand what the person is saying. I know there is auto captions, but auto captions can mess up the person's dialogue and makes it harder because it inserts music every single time. To give an example, YouTube captions love the words like foreign or thank you whenever it can't identify any speech or if the speech is muffled. Also, note, the captions do not appear for the rest of the video, well, except at the end. Keep that in mind. Sorry, I just had to go off. Anyway, continue.
Mommy. I can't be your mother.
I am certainly not lacking in skill in Shadow the Hedgehog. I've unlocked the last story from a fresh file maybe 5 or 6 times in my life, and I've fully A-ranked the entire game twice. I'm pretty familiar with this game. If you like the game or think it's fun because of your memories with it, do that to your heart's content. I'm not stopping you. Wouldn't even dream of it. I just think it's a badly put together game.
So the phrase there is wouldn't even dream of it, which is just a common enough expression. It's fine. But at that time in the video, he inserts a clip of Sly Cooper saying wouldn't even dream of it. Now, I don't know if wouldn't even dream of it is like a catchphrase of Sly Cooper, but it is a cliche. So if that's Sly Cooper's catchphrase, there's just no identity there. So
you know what's funny? About Sly Cooper, I did find where the wouldn't even dream of it came from. The context of this, it actually came from Sly Free Honor Among Thieves. The context of this, I think it would be better if I read it out loud to give y'all context. The Claw. That's literally the name of it. You ready to head out to the oil fields? Should be right there through the cave. Oh yeah, Bentley. Bentley said there'd be a heavy machinery and destruction going down there. Sounds like your thing. YES. Yeah. We're going after some radioactive oil, right? I don't know. I can never pay attention during those slideshows. Don't tell Bentley. Wouldn't even dream of it. Also, to give more context, according to the same wiki, this is a part of the episode Rumble Down Under. Not like a TV series. It's like a game episode. So take that if you will. But also, Sly Cooper has many other quotes that could be considered iconic, not just wouldn't even dream of it. So it isn't even like a cliche. This is like saying, oh, it's very sunny outside. And then when you walk outside for like 10 to 20 minutes, it's actually really rainy and cold.
since it's just a cliche, it seems totally unnecessary to show that clip on screen as if to say, hey, Sly Cooper said these words.
And there comes the spike. Again, I don't know if I'm not doing research or anything, but what if he found the quote funny? I don't know what to say other than what?
Mommy. I can't be your mother.
and super subjective about that it's exempt from these discussions in a way that books aren't. And so Jay's Reviews is now going to kind of reveal where he's coming from, where you almost get the sense that he's trying to distance himself from his prior critical negativity, which may be starting to stem from a toxic positivity, but I'll let you be the judge. Take it away, Jay.
I obviously think many games suck and have said as much in past videos, but I'd say most of my work is pretty positive these days.
In one fell swoop, he's just saying, yeah, I know I used to be really negative in the past and didn't hesitate to say that this or that game sucks. But he goes, oh, but nowadays I'm more positive. As if to say that he finally grew up, he finally matured, he finally understood what video game discussions and opinions are all about, in the sense that now he's implying that all his previous suckology commentary was like misguided.
So it's an opinion, it's their personal opinion, because humans have, opinions, and they can change opinions whenever they like to. Is this not factual evidence? Are we like robots and only have one opinion apparently? Like maybe I'm misguided because last time I checked, I have opinions on things, I have fixations on things. Also, this wouldn't be AI written because this is Jay's opinion. So it's not even standing anything.
Mommy. I can't be your mother.
In this excerpt right here.
I have a fun and challenging game like Sonic Unleashed to keep playing. You won't catch me playing Forces with boost levels that last 90 seconds on a good day. I just don't like the game. But my point is, you can. Remember what I said. It's not that deep. Games are meant to be enjoyed.
This is adorable. It's not that deep. Games are meant to be enjoyed. Well, aren't escape rooms meant to be enjoyed? Jay's Reviews would maybe say that it's pointless to give any feedback or thoughts about an escape room because it's an interactive medium. No, we can objectively assess how well the escape room succeeds in creating an engaging narrative, meaningful puzzles that you're not just going to find in a web browser, right? They take it to the next level of real-life immersive puzzle solving. Just because it's interactive doesn't exclude it from that. You almost start to wonder, could Jay's Reviews be now backtracking on the idea that for a lot of his video game reviews, the core question asked, the core context was to say, Sonic Superstars, does it suck? I've never been a fan of that tagline. It's not like I'm never against using that expression that something sucks, but it has such a disrespectful, non-inclusive etymology. If Jay's Reviews is taken to his soapbox to say, yeah, this game sucks, well, where does that expression come from? Who is doing the sucking, and what are they sucking? You just want to use that phrase with all that connotation and just get off scot-free? It's like growing up in the schoolyard in the 90s, kids would say, oh, that's gay, and then someone else would say, no, you shouldn't use the word gay like that. That's rude. And then they would try to defend it and say, oh no, when I say the word gay, I just really mean bad. I don't mean that to mean homosexual. But you're using it as a synonym for bad. That word means, like a gay person. So I think leaning on the tagline, does it suck? Could benefit from maybe just a little more self-awareness, because video games aren't that serious, I'm afraid.
Girl, what? What do you mean? What kind of similes, metaphors, currency you use, and bullshit was that? Also, as a gay man, I'm kind of low-key offended. Because why are you comparing the usage of that sucks to that's so gay? The reason why people had issues with people saying that's so gay was because they were people who were homosexual and they were in relationships with same-sex. People saying that sucks isn't saying anything. Well, it's saying it's bad, but who is it targeting? Is it targeting a minority? Because last time I checked, no minority has been told they suck, so don't say shit again. And also, suck is even a slur or a vulgar word, so it's not even it could be considered the same level as the S or any racial slur. So, take that if you will.
Mommy. I can't be your mother.
Jay of Jay's Reviews, I hereby sentence you to explain why video games are different than board games, movies, or books, that they are somehow in this alternate category where discussing and debating the quality of this or that game is like a moot point because it's quote-unquote not that serious, whatever that might mean. It's more vague AI caliber rhetoric. Now, why should Jay serve out his sentence? Well, it's for the same reason that anyone should serve out a sentence that I present. It's because they agree with the logic of the misstep identified, and they see that sentence as an appropriate logical way to connect the dots and wrap things up. Now, there is extra bonus context as to whether I, in particular, deserve a response and explanation from Jay of Jay's Reviews. And that's because in a shocking twist, Jay's Reviews, I assert, has taken design choices from me on more than one occasion without credit. And it's not.
So you're telling me you don't even care that it's even AI anymore? Wow, I'm tired. You could have literally said that from the beginning. You could have literally said that from the beginning, and I could have moved on. Was it necessary? Was it necessary though? I would have rather have that as the beginning, as like an expose. I would have liked that a little bit more about this than whatever the fuck we're even on anymore. I'm gonna cover the rest of the video. It's just a long ass story that makes absolutely no sense, and it's a tangent that had no point of being there. Not even like a good story, it's just a tangent. My take on this video is, what was the point? First issue I have is video, and this is a little nitpick that I have. There are no timestamps of which points you are talking about, because it's kind of hard for someone who likes to like follow it step by step and getting steps done. So putting the timestamps would be really helpful for me, instead of like taking clips out of context and then not putting any timestamps of what you were talking about. Another problem I have with this video is the spite, because the spite just comes out of nowhere. And you're just like, oh, so they're just being mean. Even some people in your comments say you are being too harsh on J Reviews. Which, if you're a content creator and you're being even harsher than the creator you are covering, don't cover it. Have more time and responsibility to cover the topic again, and we can talk. Let me read one of the comments to give an example. I don't know if you're going to read this with an open mind or not. You seem very spiteful towards the guy who simply talks about video games online, but here's my take. You seem like think Jay is against any or of all video game quality discussion, which couldn't be further from the truth. Just by watching of any of his videos, you could clearly see him still criticizing aspects of games he does not like. And he never tried to stop the Coliseum like you imply. He always welcomes discussions in different viewpoints. The problem here is that you believe that the point of debate and always will be about proving your point opinion is superior. Like you said in the video, which sure might be the case for some discussions, but it's not the only reason why someone might want to discuss video games or art in general. Jay simply does not like getting into these kinds of debates. He doesn't believe there is much of an objectivity in how much someone can enjoy a game or not. And personally, I kind of agree. That doesn't mean people who get to debate you are wrong. You can whatever you want. Jay doesn't just engage with that much, and I don't see anything wrong with it. So there. Hopefully that works. I do like some of the points that you do offer, because there are good points that you make sometimes. However, some of them do miss, because you come off rather hateful than making justable and real criticism. That's it. I don't know if this video was too long or too short, but sure it was content. So, bye. Bye.